This is the Dodgeland High School Technology Education Department course offerings, otherwise known as Tech Ed or CTE, which stands for Career and Technology Education. This is Ms. Vitale and Mr. Schultz, and let's start with the cross-media graphics. So graphic communications, it's everywhere. It's the box of cereal that you eat for breakfast. It's the new menu signs at Taco Bell. It's the websites you visit or the apps on your phone. Graphic communications is probably one of the largest industries in the nation, and Wisconsin ranks in the top 10 leading states for graphic communications in tech colleges, four-year colleges, and for employers. Cross-media graphics, it's a year-long class. It's an introduction into the skills and knowledge needed for graphic communications. So both print and digital media. You're going to learn about different kinds of graphic design, how to create digital design layout. You're going to learn the software that is used in graphic communications, and that's Adobe Illustrator and Adobe InDesign. And you can see some samples of some student work there on the screen. It's a hands-on class. You're either screen printing t-shirts, designing stickers on the vinyl cutter, or creating your own packaging designs, or creating your own digital designs. Photography. So, in photography, you're going to learn the difference between just simply taking a picture as opposed to applying photography compositional skills to create a photograph. You're going to learn about digital photography and videography and the software that goes along with editing photos and videos. This is a semester class. There's a lot of student-directed projects. Strongly recommended that you have access to a camera or a personal device to take photos. You're going to be using Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Premiere. Adobe Premiere is what is used in industry for making movies and for video editing. It's like iMovie on steroids, and it's fun. Residential construction. So jobs in the construction field are going to grow exponentially. And if you are interested in getting a start in anything having to do with construction, this is a course that you should take. It's a year-long course where you build up your basic carpentry skills. You're going to learn about the residential construction industry. That includes building layout, foundation, footings, framing, and a lot more. So with successful completion of this course, you can earn certification from the Council of Carpenters Union. Basic home and auto maintenance. This is offered every other year. It's available to sophomores, juniors, and seniors. We focus on the necessary skills you will need for home and even rental ownership. You're going to learn about repairs, weatherization, basic car and home maintenance. So the objective for the class is to provide you with the essential knowledge necessary to be a home and car owner, and also to be able to make informed decisions when you need to seek, professional service or hire someone to do some work. Problem solving through discovery. Are you interested in creating things, making something? Are you someone who likes a challenge? This is a hands-on, project-based learning class. It's about working together as a team, communicating, and that's not just with words or writing, but in designing, possibly with 3D software. This class, it's about being curious about the world, about anything, and wanting to explore. This is active participation in what you are interested in learning about, and you'll see that the prerequisites are being trustworthy, having self-initiative, being motivated, being responsible, having some curiosity about the world around you, perseverance, and grit. That means pushing through.
Hey, it's Mr. Schultz here. I wanted to run through what I teach on my end of technology education. First things up is basic electricity, basic electronics. That's going to run a year long, open grades 9 through 12. In electricity, we're first dealing with residential construction type things, wiring outlets, switches, four-way switches, things like that. That's a typical day there in the basic electricity lab. Basic electronics, moving on, that'd be second semester. We're going to start reading schematics and dealing with smaller circuitry. You can see there is a fella working on one of his personal soldering kits. Again, this is a typical day in the electricity lab, dealing again with schematics and smaller breadboards, LEDs, kits that make buzzer noises and things like that. There's a couple of the guys working out in the shop. Woods class, Woods 1 and 2 both run a year long. They're open to sophomore and up. We deal with quite a bit of safety. Every machine in the wood shop, we talk about miter saw, bandsaw, table saw, planer, jointer, drill press, router, the lathe. The projects become a class choice. That's us again, just working out in the shop. There's yours truly, mixing up some clear coat for everybody. Working on the bandsaw down in the lower corner there. The projects here again are class choice, so kind of what guys want to do. We vote on it and go from there. Usually we run a couple projects for project number 1, a couple projects for project number 2, and then a couple projects for project number 3. So you should come out of the class with 3 projects by the end of the year if you're working efficiently. Welding 1 is also a year-long class. We're going to get into careers, safety. The main processes that we're doing here is stick welding and wire welding or MIG welding. That's a picture of our current shop there. Again, another typical day of what you're going to be seeing if you're working out in the metal shop. Guys plasma cutting, using the torch, MIG welding, stick welding, taking metal apart, putting it back together. These are some projects that we've done over the years. Entertainment center there. We did the drag for the softball diamond. Some people were doing yard art there, the flower. There's a dueling tree there for those of you that like to do shooting sports and stuff like that. Fire pits, grilling pits. We've made storage units. Little dolly is there. Entertainment centers. Pretty much you name it, we've made it out of metal for that class. Welding 2 gets a little bit more advanced. We were partnered, or we still are partnered with John Deere. This was the class that you might have seen years ago that was always building a grill and stuff like that. Here's some pictures of the past grills that we did for John Deere and for ourselves. We'd keep one, they'd keep one. So you can see a couple different designs there. And then John Deere let us start getting out into our away from their logo. So we were able to do some POW MIA grills. And from there, we have started to move into doing community projects. So not only will you be doing welding, you'll be doing something that's good for the community. You can see us there on a couple field trips. Sometimes we do presentations for the members at John Deere. So really, it's a good all-around class if you're getting interested into doing the engineering sort of route, so you can see how things are put together and how things work. DT Manufacturing is, again, a year-long class. There are prerequisites for this class. It includes Woods 1 and Welding 1. You should have Intro to Business or Accounting for the business aspect of the class. It's preferred that you have taken a high school art class just for the little creativity aspect of it. You need to be a junior or senior, and you need to have a teacher sign off in order to get in this class so that we're meeting all the correct requirements. We will be getting into safety depending on whatever project you want to do. We'll do a short run through of that. You should have already had all the safety in those on those machines from Welding 1 or Woods 1 regardless. This is a student run class for the most part. I am there to help you a little bit along the way, but for the most part students are running the class. You research and develop a product to sell to the general public, and then the profits go back into the Tech Ed department. Also, we have lunches throughout the year, depending on the project that you do. You take one of those home, if not a couple, if we're doing a few different projects. This is a relatively newer class, and you can see in the past we did fire pits, portable fire pits to take camping and stuff like that. Mass produced those. We did Badgers and Packers, and then the Trojans. We made beanbag toss to sell again to the public for a profit, and then our latest and greatest was making the metal flags and a cabinet that goes behind them as well for storage of various things. Also wanted to take a quick moment to mention the field trips. Throughout the years, we've gone all over the place in southern Wisconsin. Waukesha County Technical College, Moraine Park Technical College. If we can't go to MPTC, sometimes MPTC comes to us, and we have the virtual welder here, so people can be doing that. Careers in Construction is a yearly trip we take every spring. That's in Madison, and that exposes people to all sorts of things in the trades and the unions, whether it be plumbing or electricity, excavating. What else are there? The metal fab guys, plaster repairs, painters, all sorts of different ones there. It's a fun trip to go to every spring. And also we go to area businesses. So Mecca Mayville, we have been there a few times. We've been to the Beaver Dam location as well. John Deere Horicon Works, been there a few times. We've been to Gator Works, their new facility. Apache Stainless, go and see what is going on there. Metalcraft of Mayville, we've been there as well. Caravan Trailers up in Waupun, Signacast over in Hartford, and Quad Graphics over in Hartford, just to name a few. So hopefully this will get you interested in coming over to the Tech Ed wing, seeing what we got going on down here. We like to offer classes to both men and women, and hopefully spark your interest and turn something that you want to do into a career. Thanks for your time. Hope to see you next year.